He's down, on his side, on the stable floor. For a second, your heart stops. You rush to him, but then you realize he's breathing, slow, steady. He's asleep. Except something is wrong, very wrong. Eyelids twitch, nostrils flare. A foreleg kicks at the air as if fleeing or pursuing. Ears swivel, catching non-existent sounds. And in that instant, a question pierces you. What exactly is happening inside his mind? You've seen a dog dreaming. It's almost automatic to smile. But a horse? When was the last time you imagined they might dream too? It's easy to forget. They are strong, enormous, ever vigilant, the perfect image of control and alertness. They live like prey animals, primed to flee, to run, to escape. We think they sleep out of necessity, and that's it, that there's nothing beyond biology in that stillness. But what if we're wrong? What if, in that motionless body, there's far more than rest? What if this moment of vulnerability conceals an entire universe unfolding behind closed eyes? What if he's reliving something only he remembers? Or feeling something you didn't even know still existed between you? Perhaps he's running through open fields. Perhaps he's catching the scent of childhood, of freedom. Or maybe, just maybe, he's dreaming of you, of the touch of your hands, of that day you saved him, of that time you understood each other without words. The truth is, no one talks about it, because no one sees what happens inside a horse when it sleeps. Except now, science has begun to look, and what's been discovered goes far beyond what anyone imagined. Memory, emotion, connection, trust. It's all there, hidden behind a still body and quiet breath. It's not just sleep. It's something else, something that redefines what it means to love an animal and be loved back. Stay with me until the end, because after you hear what you're about to hear, you'll never again be able to walk past a stable and see a sleeping horse the same way. Something will change within you, and maybe, just maybe, within him too. Most people think they already know the answer. They believe horses don't truly dream, that their brains are too simple, too focused on survival. But the truth is far more profound than anyone imagined. For decades, scientists operated under the assumption that horses were light sleepers, incapable of reaching the deep, vulnerable state requisite for true rest. After all, in the wild, lying down equates to exposing oneself to predators. Thus, horses evolved to sleep standing up, locking their legs in place, dozing without ever fully succumbing. Consequently, most people presumed horses didn't dream. They were perceived as perpetually alert, excessively cautious, and perpetually tense. However, this is where modern science takes a significant turn. Contemporary research employing electroencephalogram, EEG, technology, which measures brainwave activity, has unveiled an unexpected revelation. Horses do indeed dream. In fact, their brains exhibit precisely the same electrical patterns observed in human brains during REM sleep, the stage characterized by vivid and emotional dreams. This finding was a revelation. For years, researchers had observed horses lying down for only brief intervals, sometimes mere minutes at a time. It seemed improbable that they could achieve REM sleep within such limited windows. Yet, when scientists monitored horses in secure and controlled environments, something remarkable transpired. The horses began to lie down for extended periods. Their respiration slowed, their muscles relaxed, and then their brains ignited with activity. Delta waves, theta waves, and finally, the unmistakable signature of REM sleep, the very same stage where humans dream of flying, falling, or reuniting with loved ones, the same stage where memories are consolidated, emotions are organized, and the mind makes sense of the day's events. Horses, it turns out, experience all of this. But the discovery did not cease there. Scientists also observed the physical manifestations. During REM sleep, horses would move their legs as if galloping. Their ears would twitch, swiveling towards phantom sounds. Some would whinny softly, as if calling to another horse or perhaps a person. Their nostrils would flare, catching scents that existed only within the dreamscape. This was not random muscular activity. It was the body acting out the mind's experiences. Much like a dog paddling its legs in its sleep or a cat's tail twitching while dreaming of a hunt, horses were reenacting scenes from their waking lives. And here lies the truly captivating aspect. Studies on memory consolidation in animals suggest that during REM sleep, the brain replays recent experiences, thereby strengthening neural connections and processing emotions. For horses, This implies that every interaction, every training session, every moment of fear or comfort is revisited in their dreams. But what is truly fascinating is how this ancient mind still communicates with us. Because if horses dream, and if those dreams are intrinsically linked to memory and emotion, then the subsequent question becomes unavoidable. What are they dreaming about? And more importantly, do we feature in these dreams? To answer this, we must first comprehend how horses perceive the world while awake, as their dreams are essentially reflections of their waking reality. It was precisely when researchers began delving into the emotional lives of horses that the pieces started to fall into place. Something clicked, something that fundamentally altered everything we thought we knew about the horse-human bond. Now, this is where it becomes particularly compelling. Horses do not dream arbitrarily. Their dreams are deeply intertwined with what they have experienced, whom they have encountered, and how they have felt. Consider this. Every time you approach your horse, every time you speak, every time you touch, you are leaving an indelible mark, not merely on their memory, but within the very emotional architecture of their brain. Horses possess an extraordinary sensitivity to human emotion. Studies have demonstrably shown their capacity to interpret facial expressions, discern changes in heart rate, and even respond to the intonation of one's voice. When you are calm, they relax. When you are anxious, they become tense. They are perpetually scanning you, learning you, remembering you, and all of this is meticulously stored, archived within the recesses of their minds, awaiting retrieval during slumber. Research into animal cognition has revealed that horses exhibit episodic memory, meaning they can recall specific events, locations, and individuals. They don't merely remember that something occurred, they remember how it made them feel. A study conducted in France monitored horses' reactions to recorded voices of their handlers. Even months after separation, the horses responded distinctly to familiar voices compared to those of strangers. Their heart rates altered, their ears perked up. They recognized not just the sound, but the emotional context inextricably linked to it. This strongly suggests that horses do not perceive people as interchangeable figures. They know you, they remember you, and when they dream, these memories surface. The voice that offered solace during a tempest, the hand that provided sustenance each morning, the individual who remained steadfast during their moments of fear. Memory alone, however, doesn't fully elucidate the profound implications of what transpires during sleep. Horses, after all, don't merely replay events, they process emotions. Neuroscientists investigating REM sleep in mammals have ascertained that this stage is paramount for emotional regulation. It's during this phase that the brain orchestrates fear, stress, joy, and attachment, discerning what to retain and what to relinquish. For a prey animal like a horse, this is an existential necessity. Every rustle in the grass could portend danger. Every shadow might conceal a predator. Without a mechanism to process and discharge this perpetual state of alertness, the horse would be trapped in a cycle of unending panic. Consequently, the brain employs dreams to rehearse responses, pacify the nervous system, and solidify bonds with those who offer sanctuary. And here lies the truly profound aspect. When a horse feels secure in your presence, your very being becomes an integral component of this emotional regulatory system. Contemplate the ramifications. If a horse trusts you, if your voice, your scent, your energy have consistently signaled safety, then during sleep, the equine brain revisits these moments not as random flashes, but as veritable reservoirs of comfort. It's as if the mind is affirming, this individual is safe, this environment is secure, I can find repose here. And this repose, this surrender, represents one of the most profound declarations of trust an animal can bestow. Few individuals grasp this, yet the quality of a horse's sleep is directly correlated with its sense of security. A horse that cannot fully relax, perpetually existing in a state of hypervigilance, will never achieve deep REM sleep. Without it, emotional processing remains incomplete. Stress accumulates, bonds attenuate. But when a horse genuinely relaxes, when it lies down completely, when it permits itself to dream, that is when the magic unfolds. That is when the connection deepens in ways that transcend verbal articulation. Have you ever observed how some horses appear more intrinsically bonded to their handlers than others? How some will trail your every step like a devoted canine, while others maintain a discernible distance? A significant portion of this disparity stems from trust. And trust, as scientific inquiry is increasingly revealing, is not solely forged during waking hours, but is also cultivated in the quietude of sleep. As the horse dreams of your voice, your touch, your presence, the brain actively reinforces the emotional bond. It is a biological manifestation of attachment, occurring beneath the surface, invisible, yet undeniably potent. Once you comprehend this, every interaction begins to assume a different dimension, for you are not merely training a horse. You are participating in a complex, reciprocal relationship that extends into the very fabric of its emotional well-being. It's becoming a part of his inner world. It's becoming someone he dreams of, but that very sensitivity that makes them special also hides a silent struggle, because not all horses can dream. Not all horses feel safe enough to lie down, close their eyes, surrender to sleep. And when that happens, something inside them begins to break. Here is the hidden cost. In the wild, horses sleep in herds. There's always someone standing guard, watching for danger so others can rest. They take turns. It's a system built on trust, cooperation, on the understanding that vulnerability is shared, not isolated. But in domestication, this dynamic shifts. A horse in a stall, alone in the dark, hearing unfamiliar sounds, feeling the vibration of footsteps or machinery, has no such safety net. The instinct to stay alert kicks in, the body tenses, the mind refuses to let go. And so, the horse stands, night after night, week after week. He stands, dozing lightly, never fully resting, never reaching the deep sleep where dreams occur. And slowly, silently, the toll begins to show. Sleep deprivation in horses is more common than most people realize. Studies have found that horses kept in stressful environments, whether due to isolation, noise, or lack of routine, can go weeks without entering REM sleep. And just like humans, the effects are devastating. The immune system weakens, temperament changes, anxiety escalates, learning becomes more difficult. The horse that once responded to commands with ease now seems distracted, irritable, or fearful. Trainers might call it stubbornness, but the truth is simpler. The horse is exhausted, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. Because without REM sleep, the brain can't process the day. Emotions build up unresolved, memories blur, and the bond, the connection that should be growing stronger, begins to fray. Think of it this way. Imagine you never truly slept. Imagine that every night, you floated in a shallow rest, always half aware, always listening for danger. How would you feel after a week? After a month? Your thoughts would scatter. Your emotions would overwhelm you. You'd lose the ability to regulate stress, to find comfort, to trust. This is what happens to a horse that cannot dream. The mind that once roamed freely across the plains now exists in a constant state of tension, caught between the need to rest and the inability to feel safe. And here's the heartbreaking truth. Many horses live their entire lives this way, standing through the night, eyes half closed, muscles locked, never fully yielding, never fully dreaming. But there's another side to this story. Because when a horse truly feels safe, when it finally lies down and allows itself to dream, something extraordinary happens. The body relaxes, the breath deepens, and in that vulnerable moment, the horse is telling you something profound. It's saying, I trust you. I trust this place. I trust that if something comes, you will protect me. Think about it. A 1,000-pound animal whose entire evolutionary history has been about fleeing danger chooses to lie down in your presence. This isn't obedience. This isn't training. This is love. This is trust in its purest, most instinctive form. And when you see your horse sleeping deeply, when you see those legs twitching and those eyes moving beneath closed lids, you are witnessing biological proof of a bond that runs deeper than words. This is where the story takes a turn. Because researchers studying equine behavior began asking a new question. If the quality of sleep reflects emotional safety, could improving that safety, in turn, improve the bond? And the answer was yes. In one study, horses exposed to consistent, gentle handling showed significantly longer REM sleep cycles compared to horses in unpredictable or stressful environments. The horses with gentle, patient caregivers didn't just sleep better. They learned faster, responded more willingly, and showed fewer signs of anxiety. It was as if the dreaming state itself was reinforcing the relationship. As if during sleep, the brain was saying, this person is good, this person is safe. Remember that feeling. And from this struggle emerges a truth we never expected. During sleep, the horse isn't just resting, it's remembering, it's feeling, it's reliving. And in those quiet, vulnerable moments when the body finally surrenders to the earth, the mind revisits the people who made it feel safe. Studies on REM sleep in mammals have shown that this is the stage where emotional memories are consolidated, where the brain decides what matters and what can be forgotten. For a horse, this means every interaction with you is being assessed, processed, and stored. the way you approached calmly when it was nervous, the time you stayed with it during a storm, the consistent routine of feeding, grooming, speaking softly. It all becomes part of its emotional landscape. And during sleep, the brain revisits these moments not as static images, but as felt experiences. This is the ultimate communication, a silent nod of trust that is worth more than any spoken word. Because when a horse dreams of you, it's not just remembering what you did, it's remembering how you made it feel. Neuroscience tells us that emotions are encoded more deeply than facts. We forget what someone said, but remember how they made us feel. The same is true for horses. They may not recall every detail of a training session, but they will remember the emotion tied to it. The patience, the frustration, the kindness, the fear. And during sleep, these emotions resurface, shaping their future responses to you. If the memories are positive, the bond strengthens. If they are negative, trust erodes. Here's the profound part. When a horse feels safe enough to enter deep REM sleep in your presence, its brain is actively choosing to associate you with safety. It is a biological seal of approval, a subconscious decision that says, this human is part of my security network. This is someone I can trust. And once that association forms, it becomes self-reinforcing. The more peacefully a horse dreams near you, the more its brain links you to that peaceful state. Over time, your mere presence can trigger relaxation, even when awake. This is why some horses will lower their heads, soften their eyes, or even sigh when their favorite person approaches. The body remembers what the mind decided during sleep. And here's something most people don't realize. The quality of a horse's dreams reflects the quality of its life. A horse living in chronic stress, in isolation, in environments where safety is never guaranteed, will have fragmented, shallow sleep. Its dreams, if it even reaches them, will likely replay scenes of vigilance, tension, and flight. But a horse in a stable, supportive environment with consistent care and gentle handling will dream differently. His REM sleep will be longer, deeper, more restorative, and the content of those dreams, as suggested by their physical reactions, will reflect comfort rather than fear. They will dream of running for joy, not fleeing from danger. They will dream of companionship, not isolation. And yes, they will dream of the humans who have given them this peace. This is the key to building a bond based on mutual respect and trust. Because understanding that horses dream, that they process emotions during sleep, that their subconscious is constantly evaluating the relationship with you, transforms how we approach them. It's no longer just about commands and compliance. It's about presence. It's about being the kind of person a horse wants to dream about. The kind of person whose voice soothes, whose touch reassures, whose energy brings calm. And when you become that person, you're not just training a horse. You are entering his inner world. You are becoming part of the story his brain tells himself every night in the quiet, sacred space where trust is built, one dream at a time. The next time you see your horse lying down with legs outstretched, eyes closed, breathing slowly and deeply, pause for a moment. Don't wake him. Don't disturb him. Just observe. Observe how his ears twitch, listening to sounds only he can hear. Observe how his legs move, as if galloping through fields that exist only in memory. Observe how his nostrils flare, catching scents from a world you will never see. And know this, in that moment, your horse is not just resting. He is remembering, he is feeling, he is dreaming. And perhaps, just perhaps, he is dreaming of you. It's not just about horses, it's about us. It's about what we choose to be in their lives. Protectors, companions, sources of security in a world that often seems dangerous. Every time you approach with patience instead of frustration, every time you speak softly instead of shouting, every time you remain calm when they are afraid, you are giving them something to dream about. You are writing yourself into the stories their minds tell during sleep. And these stories matter. They shape behavior. They build trust. They create bonds that transcend species, language, and time. Share this video if you believe horses feel more than we think. If you believe their dreams matter. If you believe that the way we treat them echoes in places we cannot see, in moments when we are not present, in the quiet hours when they finally feel safe enough to close their eyes and remember. And subscribe if you wish to continue exploring the hidden language of these magnificent animals, because every video we create is another step towards understanding what they have been trying to tell us all along. Your story could help someone else. Leave a comment about the most peaceful moment you have ever witnessed with a horse. Let's build a community that honors not only their strength, but their vulnerability, their silence, their dreams.